Hi everyone, I'm Bridget, the librarian here at Hatch Public Library, and our first book for the summer reading program is called The Secret Garden. It's a classic book by Frances Hodgson Burnett, and this particular version is illustrated by Bridget Barriger. She has the same name as me. Okay, let's start. When a little orphan named Mary Lennox was sent far away to live with her uncle, she was the sourest girl anyone had ever known. She was frail and scrawny, with pale skin and an angry face that was not kind to anyone. After Mary's ship docked in England, she was met by Mrs. Medlock, her uncle's housekeeper. They traveled by train and horse-drawn carriage through the dark, rainy night. At the end of the long journey, Mary stood before a huge oak door. She had arrived at Misselthwaite Manor, her new home. Mrs. Medlock led Mary upstairs. "Here you are," she said. "You must stay in this room, no wandering about. Martha, your maid, will come to look after you." And then Mrs. Medlock left, and Mary was all alone. The next morning, Mary was woken by Martha. Out of the window was a huge stretch of land, with not a tree in sight, and it looked like a purple sea. "What's out there?" she asked. "Many things," said Martha. "Flowers, birds, foxes, honeybees. My brother Dickon knows every animal and plant around. And a garden no one ever enters." Mary's eyes widened. "Why?" she asked. "Well, your uncle locked it up," Mary replied. "He buried the key when his wife died 10 years ago, and no one has been in there since." Mary wanted to find the secret garden, so she set out in the morning air along the winding paths, past fountains and ponds. She felt as if no one was left in the world but her. Day after day, Mary walked the grounds, searching for the garden. A robin often greeted her with his merry chirp. It was as if he could talk. Little by little, the fresh air and walking brought pink to Mary's cheeks, and she came home each night hungry for dinner. "Why, you're not such a sickly little thing anymore," said Mrs. Medlock one evening. One crisp morning, Mary saw the robin digging up some earth near an ivy-covered stone wall. "Good morning, sir," she said. "Are you looking for a worm?" The robin stopped digging, popped his head up, and turned toward her. And that was when Mary discovered something lying in the soil. "A key!" cried Mary. "Is it the key to the secret garden?" Mary ran to the wall and parted the thick ivy. Suddenly, as if by magic, a gust of wind caught some loose vines and swung them aside. There was a door in the wall with a rusty keyhole. Mary took a deep breath. She fitted the key in the door and pushed. And slowly, slowly, on creaky iron hinges, the door swung open. Mary slipped through the door and closed it behind her. She was inside the secret garden. It was the sweetest, most mysterious place anyone could imagine. Vines climbed the walls and hung down like curtains. Small green shoots poked out of the earth. Mary felt as if she had found a world all her own. She picked up a stick and began to clear away the weeds. She worked in the garden all day. The next day, on the way to the garden, Mary met a boy. He was sitting next to a fox and a rabbit, and they looked like they were his friends. "You must be Mary," he said. "I'm Dickon, Martha's brother. Where are you going?" Dickon looked like a boy who could keep a secret. "I found a secret garden," Mary said, and she led Dickon to the hidden door and pushed it open. "It's like a dream," said Dickon. "I'll come back every day and we'll make this garden as pretty as ever." The two new friends worked all afternoon, clearing places to plant seeds. At dinner time, Mary raced to the house to tell Martha she had met her brother. Martha was waiting for Mary. "Your uncle would like to see you," she said. Mary was led to her uncle's study, where she met him for the first time. He sat frowning behind a large wooden desk. "I'm going away till the end of summer," he said. "Are they looking after you? Is there anything you need?" Mary thought quickly. I'd like a patch of earth, sir, and some seeds to plant." "Is that all?" he said. "Very well. Take all the earth you want, child. Make it come alive." That night in her quiet room, Mary heard a child's cry. Where was it coming from? She tiptoed down a long, dark hallway. The crying became louder until at last it led to a closed door. Pushing it open, she saw a very large bed and a pale, thin boy in it crying. Oh, there he is. When he saw Mary, his eyes grew wide. "Are you a ghost?" asked the boy. "No," whispered Mary. "Are you?" "No," replied the boy. "I'm Colin." As Mary and Colin talked, they discovered that they were cousins. Mary's uncle was Colin's father. "Why are you shut up here?" Mary asked. "I'm very sick," said Colin. "My father and my doctor say I have to stay in bed." Mary didn't think he looked sick. He looked like she did when she'd first arrived. Maybe he just needed some fresh air, she thought. She told him about her secret garden. "Oh, I should love to see that," cried Colin. "Then I'll take you there," Mary replied. "My friend Dickon will help." So the next day Dickon arrived at Colin's door, a lamb in his arms and a little fox beside him. He had one squirrel on his shoulder and another in his pocket. See those two? Colin was astonished. The children put Colin in his wheelchair and snuck him out of the manor, down the path, and into the secret garden. The garden had never been so beautiful. Overnight, the cherry blossoms had bloomed, and everything was a blaze of pink. "Oh, can I help you tend the garden?" pleaded Colin. "Of course you may," said Mary. And so in the summer months that followed, the three friends worked in the secret garden from morning till night. Mary had been right. Colin was not sick. He merely needed to run and play and breathe the crisp, fresh air. He got stronger each day and no longer needed his wheelchair. And when, at summer's end, Colin's father returned to the manor, he could not believe the sight of the healthy boy who ran into his arms. What?" he cried. "What has happened to make you so well?" "The secret garden," said Colin. "Take me there," said his father, wiping his tears. "Let me see it again." So Colin led his father down the path to meet Mary and Dickon and to see the secret garden where magic grows. The end.
Thanks for listening to this week's story. Remember, every week for the summer reading program, we have an activity pack that corresponds with that week's book. You can stop at the library and pick up the activity pack, which will include a reading log, some sort of a craft or a project that goes with the book, and also of order forms so that we can get you even more library books. So you can pick those up, either call to pick one up, or we will have them available in front of the library on a table set up that you can just grab it each week. Thank you.